even know what to say to this. Maybe somebody would like it, but dang. This is pretty cool. Does AI have the power to reimagine real life artwork and bring it to life in a whole new way? Today we're gonna find out.
This video is sponsored by Squarespace.
AI can be a little bit of a touchy subject. There are a lot of opinions on both sides of the spectrum. I, however, see it as a tool for growth and for advancement if you use it the right way. I really see it as something that will push creativity forward, push businesses forward, push individuals forward if used correctly. So one idea I had was turning physical real-life art pieces and seeing if AI can recreate them in a new way, maybe better, maybe worse, and maybe bring it to life in a whole different way that could essentially allow the piece to live on longer and create more of a life cycle for it than just one piece and then maybe it's sold or maybe it's digitized. This could bring it to life in a whole new way and I think really be beneficial for artists and creatives of all kinds. And so today we're going to utilize Midjourney and probably a little bit of ChatGPT and take some physical artwork that Brian, the owner and founder of Schmood, has previously created. We're going to put it into these AIs, give it a handful of different prompts and see how it works out. I'm excited to jump into it, so let's get on the computer and dive in. All right, so these are the pieces that I've selected to test this theory out on. It's a handful of different pieces that Brian has made. Some are frames using embroidering and a punch needle, I believe, as well as some pull-apart rugs, which obviously are some of his most famous pieces, and then some photos from an Asterisk photo shoot, which I'm really interested to see how these turn out. Speaking of Asterisk, if you use code SchmoodiePie at www.asterisk.com, you can get 20% off your order. Some incredible jewelry. I'm wearing the everyday chain right now and I love this thing. Wear it every day. We're going to jump over into Midjourney now. Sweet, so this is Midjourney. It is a pretty fantastic software. I've seen some ridiculous things come out of this software, and what I've really realized is it all comes down to your prompts and how well you are at prompting it the right words, the right keywords, and you've got to be pretty exact, and a lot of times it can take quite a few renditions of one piece to get it how you'd like. So I am no pro. I've only messed around a handful of times, but even looking at these first couple on the homepage here, it's unreal. Pretty wild stuff here. Sometimes it's a little bit scary how incredible it can do. So we're gonna jump over into the Create tab here, and then up at the top you can choose the orientation, the image size. We'll just go with square for now, and then you've got these sliders here that basically controls how crazy or stylized or creative things can get. We're gonna leave it at 300. Weirdness is just quirkiness and randomness into the image. So if you're looking for something super realistic, you probably want to keep this low. If you're wanting the AI to go a little crazy, then go for it. We'll leave it at 700 for now. And then variety is just amount of different varieties in the images that it provides. So we're just gonna leave that at 20. Let's go ahead and grab our first photo. I think we'll do this guy here, the embroidered tiger. Looks pretty sick already. So we'll go ahead and drop it into Midjourney. We're gonna go ahead and say, turn this embroidered art piece into a realistic piece with a futuristic background. Very basic, simple prompt, and just let the AI create whatever it wants to. That's insane. It totally changed it. I mean, these pieces aren't really anything close. I mean, it's cool. This one you can even see like it looks embroidered, which is super cool. That is just not even close. I mean, futuristic, I guess. Oh, I mean, that's sick. I would assume some sort of astronaut maybe, kind of floating through, I don't know, my brain went to a church almost. This looks kind of like stained glass windows over here. Wild to go from the leopard to this. Not too bad, honestly, for the first go. So once you find one that you like, you can come down here to creation actions, and we can kind of just build off of this one image. So let's go ahead and subtly vary this and just see. It should give us, yep, a handful of different variations of that one image. So yeah, it's just a couple different variations. I mean, it's cool. It's very random. you know, I immediately don't have a name or much purpose behind this specific kind of artwork other than creativity, you know, and something random. So that was fun. Let's jump into the next piece here. When I'm working on a project or running my business, I trust Squarespace, the all-in-one platform that simplifies building and managing your online presence. Here's why it's perfect for creatives. Portfolio templates showcase your work with beautifully designed templates that are fully customizable, helping you create a stunning portfolio that reflects your unique style. Their e-commerce integration easily sets up an online store to sell your products or services. With tools like inventory management, secure checkout, and multiple payment options, running your store is seamless. And lastly, their email campaigns. You can stay connected with your audience by creating and sending beautiful email campaigns directly from Squarespace. You can even track the performance with analytics to see what's working and how to improve your outreach. With Squarespace, you get all the tools you need in one place to grow your business and streamline your workflow. If you're ready to give it a shot, head to the link in my description to start your free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use coupon code SHMOOD to get 10% off your first purchase. I think we will grab this pull apart rug. Obviously, I love this rug and Brian crushed these. This was something that did super well on the YouTube channel as well as just on Instagram. People were mind blown about this and I still am to this day. It's pretty insane. So let's go ahead and drop this image over here. I think what I'm gonna do is actually ask ChatGPT to come up with a cool prompt for me. So, all right, we're just gonna ask ChatGPT to take the image of a pull apart rug and turn it into something unique and bring it to new life. I just wanna see if AI can give me better prompts because honestly, that is where I do see a lot of creativity within AI. A lot of people I think are scared of AI being something that's wipes out creatives and wipes out, you know, artists and those alike. But really, in all reality, there is quite a level of creativity that is needed to even get to a place where AI can make something good. You know, you can't just say, make a cool image of this, and then it just does it instantly. It might look like something unique, but it still has a very human element to get to a place where it actually looks cool and can be unique and effective and utilized in multiple ways. We've got the rug placed in there, put that prompt in, hit enter, and we wait. Wow. Whoa, that's crazy. Much more detailed than my first prompt, obviously, and this gives me a really good idea of just how specific you need to be in order to get a unique piece. This is exactly that, right? It took the same colors from the original piece or similar colors. This piece though, that's pretty cool. Wow. So we've got what I would assume is a woman's face here. That's my immediate sense. Wow, that's really cool actually. With the full rug textures mixed with a more modern, I guess, painting sort of texture. It's funny, these words aren't real words. Some of them are, like you can kind of see transform up here, imagining, a messing patterns, but then the rest all kind of just jumble together, which is kind of cool because yeah, it's interesting that both of these decide to put in words in the back. But I really like the threads coming from the top as well. It just adds a whole nother element. I mean, you got kind of paint threads going sideways, the actual threads coming from the top as well. So very, very unique. I mean, what is this? I don't even know what to say to this. The center image is somewhat cool here as far as even a design for a physical piece. That could be potentially a way to utilize AI as well, as kind of put some maybe inspiration pieces into AI and prompt it in a way of a piece that you would want to create, see what it kind of comes up with, and then you can create an iteration off of that. You know, if you were to cut out this face and make that into a rug or embroider it into a frame of some sort, that could be cool. But the rest of this is nothing. I mean, I don't even know what you would do with this. So again, nothing really incredible at all. Maybe somebody would like it, but let's take this bad one here that has the words and let's try to rerun it and prompt it to not have any text. All right, so we will grab that same prompt. I'm gonna delete this section though because I messed up on that. We're getting a little bit too crazy and a little bit too far away from the original piece. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring the stylization down, the weirdness down, and then variety down as well. I think I would like to try to recreate these pieces a little bit more similarly to the original piece. And let's go ahead and rerun this prompt. Completely different. I mean, it's much more of a full rug texture here. I assume they're getting this face from SpongeBob here, which has just like the crazy wide smile. Maybe even, it seems like a blend of the two faces here because it's like eyes closed, subtle, but then like big mouth. This is a whole piece. Like in a studio here, it looks like they've created a full studio background. You can see little strings hanging from some sort of ceiling. And then, I mean, this is pretty cool. And you can even see at the bottom here, it pulls into a completed rug. So it's a bit of a full rug here, and then it goes more into loose threads and then full rug in the middle too. So still very different than the original one, but it's taking that concept and just putting a whole new spin on it. It's interesting. It seems like each prompt I do, there's 1 to 2 that are pretty solid, or at least one that I like, and the rest are kind of iffy. So I assume that would have to do with the variety. So I'm just going to turn that down a little bit more, and then let's turn the weirdness all the way down to 0. Let's go for this. I'm interested to see how it recreates the hands here. I kind of want to turn it into a 3D version, give it some sort of prompt to make it more 3D or cartoon-esque. So I'm going to come up with something here and we will input it. All right, this is the prompt, basically asking the AI to create it into a 2D cartoon, keeping similar orientation, and also just trying to ask it to keep the image as close to original as possible while adding the 2D cartoon effect. And then I just asked it to create a gradient background. Yeah, I mean, that's cartoon-esque, but the hands, right? Like, these hands are not very realistic. They've got these rough edges and just way too fake. I mean, that one's a little more realistic, but the arm hair is pretty intense. I do like though what it did with this gradient in the background. That is really cool, and the reflection in the ice block. I do wish that more showed up in the ice block though, so maybe I gotta think of a prompt to keep some of the jewelry and flowers inside the block. All right, we're gonna rerun this prompt here. Oh, there we go. That's much closer to what I was thinking. It's definitely got that cartoon feel. Very bubbly. This one, the ice is a little bit too unnatural, too smooth. So, but there is some jewelry hanging out here, which is pretty cool. This one also has a little piece of jewelry. This one's really cool, actually. That one's super dreamy. And that one also is super just soft and dainty as well. These actually turned out really good. This is probably some of the best ones yet. This one is probably my favorite piece we've created so far. So let's work off of this actually a little bit. So now what I'm going to do is, since I like this and I'm trying to keep it as close to the original as possible, I'm actually going to pull in the original image again and ask it to create it back like the original image. Whoa, okay. This one feels much closer to the original image here. I mean, it's even got the light shining through on a table. Wow, that's pretty cool. The marble is throwing me off a little bit, but this light coming through is crazy. It has a super cool glow. This one isn't as cartoony, still obviously a little bit, but these flowers look super realistic. This one's pretty cool. Almost feels like a pool up here. Yeah, I like this texture around the bottom, the flowers, more jewelry kind of throughout. Love these colors though. Like the gradient prompt works really well. Honestly, this one's super cool. This one has much more of some sort of necklace here. Bringing that variety slider down seemed to keep them all a little bit closer and not have such wild differences between the images. Let's go with this frame here, another embroidered piece that Brian made. We're throwing this into ChatGPT again, just to see if it can give us a more accurate prompt for Midjourney. Let's go ahead. I'm not even gonna read through. We're just gonna throw it in. It really is fun though, getting to mess with all these tools and resources and seeing how they can be utilized in fun and exciting ways. I don't have a ton of super practical applications for them in my current work. However, other types of AI, as far as ChatGPT and some other video related ones, I'm starting to implement much more in my current workflow, but this just stretches a totally different part of my creative brain and just gets me thinking at a whole different level. But let's jump in. This looks like it turned out pretty realistic. Utilizing ChatGPT definitely is the way to get more accurate prompts, and throwing your image in there because it can kind of describe it even further, right? I threw the image into ChatGPT and it gave a super accurate description of what was in that image, and then created what I wanted off of a broad, random, a pretty quick prompt, and then gave a much more detailed one. So for me, I'm realizing that that's a pretty solid way to go. Dang, this is pretty cool. In terms of using Midjourney and AI to recreate art pieces, whether that's for sale or maybe it's literally just to post on Instagram and you have a whole page that's just dedicated to recreating artwork that you love into these new 3D or digital pieces. I mean, it's pretty cool. You probably could grab some sort of image of this and end up even creating prints or just digital downloads of this stuff for iPhone backgrounds maybe, or phone backgrounds, laptop wallpapers. I mean, this prompt definitely kept it much more original to that first piece, but added on a ton more. I mean, it kept the nose very similar, these eyes, the teeth, added the fire, which I think is sick. And all of them, I mean, they've just got a ton of different fire. So, oh dang, and this last one, I'm loving this. I mean, these are pretty crazy looking, and I think definitely the best result yet. I think that is the perfect piece to wrap this mission up on. Go ahead and let me know in the comments which piece was your favorite, if you liked any, if you didn't like any, maybe even some tips for better prompting if you've messed around with AI at all. If you happen to be on the side of not liking AI, that's totally okay too. You don't have to. All in all, I'm learning that it is a pretty intricate process to get realistic and actually unique and cool looking pieces. It's not as simple as just quick prompts. I think to actually create something of meaning and of purpose, you would really want to spend a lot of time, really dial in your prompting, dial in what you actually want the end result to look like. I encourage you to give this a go if you're just looking for something fun to do, or maybe it truly is a way to unlock a different creative part of your brain and make a business out of it, make a social media page, or just work on a passion project that you're really intrigued about. I would love to see your pieces. Shoot us a message on Instagram and I would love to check them out. If you've got any ideas for better prompting, I would also love to know that in the comments, and maybe I will continue to mess around with it a little bit more. Thank you so much for joining along. If you've made it this far, this is a super fun process. If you like videos like this and want to see more art related content, make sure you subscribe below. We've got a lot of really amazing projects coming out here very soon, and that's all for today. See you next time. Peace.
All right, so be sure to like and subscribe. Go ahead and hit that bell notification. And yeah.